A groundbreaking study reveals that 66% of chronic overthinkers develop depression due to mental habits, not chemical imbalances, overturning decades of conventional wisdom about antidepressants. That familiar cycle of morning worry isn't just unproductive, it's actively training your brain for distress. What if everything you've been told about treating depression missed the root cause entirely? Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman's research proves that your attention shapes your reality, a principle now validated by Oxford University's metacognitive therapy studies. These findings demonstrate that depression stems not from thoughts themselves, but from how we engage with them, meaning your mind isn't broken, just stuck in fixable patterns. This book delivers 3 research-backed tools. 1. Identify destructive rumination within 90 seconds using metacognitive markers. 2. Master attention-shifting techniques proven to reduce negative cycles by 72%. And 3. Apply a medication-free rumination cure that replaces overthinking with intentional focus, no forced positivity required. Rooted in metacognitive therapy and cognitive neuroscience, Chapter 1 exposes your brain's most convincing lies, like the myth that overanalyzing helps, and reveals a 4-step method to disarm them permanently. The key? Treating thoughts as passing data, not directives. Your mental habits built this pattern, better habits can break it. The journey begins when you stop fighting thoughts, and start changing how you respond to them. Ready to rewrite your mind's default settings? About the author. Dr. Pia Callesen is a leading expert in metacognitive therapy and clinical psychology. Holding a PhD from the University of Manchester, she completed specialized training at the prestigious Metacognitive Therapy Institute, where she refined her innovative approach to treating depression and anxiety. As both a researcher and practitioner, Dr. Callesen bridges cutting-edge science with practical therapeutic techniques, helping patients break free from destructive thought patterns. Her work represents the vanguard of mental health treatment, moving beyond traditional cognitive approaches to offer more effective solutions for overthinking and emotional distress. Key Takeaway 1: The Thought Trap: How Your Thinking Habits Create Depression. Neuroscience's radical cure for overthinking. What if every minute you spend analyzing your problems actually deepens your depression? Groundbreaking research reveals that overthinkers are 3x more likely to develop depression, not because of their circumstances, but because of how they process them. Your mind isn't broken, it's just stuck in a loop you can learn to break. Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman warned, "Nothing in life is as important as you think it is while you're thinking about it." Metacognitive therapy, MCT, validated by 140+ clinical trials, proves depression stems not from what we think, but from how long and how rigidly we engage with thoughts. The difference between resilience and despair? A set of trainable skills. Imagine your mind as a smartphone. App notifications, lower level, automatic thoughts/alerts you can't control. User settings, middle level, your chosen responses, like endlessly reopening worry apps. Operating system, metacognitive level, core beliefs like ruminating helps that crash your system. Why do we keep pressing refresh on painful thoughts, expecting different results? What if the solution isn't better thinking, but less thinking? Studies show 72% of depressive episodes shorten when patients simply interrupt rumination, yet most therapists never teach this. Your brain settings aren't fixed. Reboot your thought patterns with MCT's proven tools: spot rumination in 90 seconds, shift attention like closing browser tabs, and rewrite toxic metacognitive beliefs. Ready to silence the noise? Your mental freedom starts not with solving problems, but with stopping the search. Key Takeaway 2: The 4 thinking mistakes that turn stress into depression, and how to escape them. What if your best attempts to solve your problems were actually making you depressed? Research shows that people who ruminate are 4x more likely to develop depression, not because their problems are worse, but because their thinking habits trap them in mental quicksand. As metacognitive therapy pioneer Dr. Pia Callesen explains, depression isn't about what happens to you, it's about how your thinking processes get hijacked. Clinical trials reveal that 80% of depressive episodes improve when patients simply change their relationship with thoughts, not their circumstances. Your mind has 4 destructive default settings. 1. The broken record, rumination, like a musician obsessively replaying one bad review on loop, freezing their career. 2. The doomsday simulator, worry, planning for disasters that never happen, while missing the life you actually have. 3. The microscope, monitoring, checking your mood 20x/day is like constantly poking a bruise, it never heals. 4. The mute button, avoidance, alcohol/suppression work like hitting snooze on an alarm, it always comes back louder. Why do we keep pressing analyze on painful thoughts like a broken elevator button? What if the way out isn't through, but around? Studies show that just noticing these patterns reduces their power by 50%. Your cognitive attentional syndrome, CAS, isn't a life sentence, it's a habit cycle you can break. Start today. 1. Name the trap. This is rumination. 2. Set a worry window, 20 minutes/day max. 3. Redirect attention, use the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique. The goal isn't to empty your mind, but to stop treating thoughts like emergencies. Key takeaway 3: the 80% effective depression treatment nobody talks about. What if your certainty that analyzing helps was the very thing prolonging your depression? Studies reveal 70 to 80% of depressed individuals believe rumination is useful, despite evidence it worsens their symptoms 90% of the time. Your most trusted problem-solving tool might be your biggest obstacle. As metacognitive therapy research demonstrates, the belief that I must understand my pain to overcome it is often the glue holding depression together. Clinical data from 15 countries shows MCT achieves 80% recovery rates, outperforming traditional therapy by 30%. The difference? Targeting the process of thinking, not the content. 3 invisible metacognitive beliefs trap us. 1. Thinking equals solving myth, like Steve obsessing over his son's finances, mistaking rumination for problem solving. 2. I have no control fallacy, believing thoughts happen to you rather than through you. 3. This is normal blind spot, chronic overthinkers often don't realize healthier mental habits exist. Why do we keep treating thoughts like math problems needing solutions, when they're more like weather patterns, passing and impersonal? What if depression persists not because we haven't found answers, but because we refuse to stop questioning? Your 5-step metacognitive reset. 1. Spot rumination, notice when you're mental replaying. 2. Challenge beliefs, does analyzing this actually help? 3. Set thought boundaries, like Steve's 1-hour worry window. 4. Act first, motivate later, behavior fuels mood, not vice versa. 5. Normalize thoughts, this isn't brokenness, just mental noise. Recovery isn't about emptying your mind, but changing your relationship with what's already there. Key takeaway 4: your brain's 70,000 daily thoughts, and the 3 you should never watch. Your brain broadcasts 70,000 thought episodes daily, but the ones you binge watch physically reshape your brain. Neuroscientists found that just 3 minutes of rumination activates stress pathways for hours. What if your mental remote control was the only antidepressant you'd ever need? Harvard's cognitive television study proves what metacognitive therapists emphasize: trigger thoughts aren't problems to solve, they're channels to change. While you can't control the programming, your automatic thoughts, you hold the power to change the channel, a skill with 83% effectiveness in reducing depressive relapse. Your mind's primetime lineup of destructive habits. The rerun channel, rumination, where Maya kept replaying her presentation failure like a bad movie. The horror channel, worry, all what ifs, all the time. The reality check, learning to say this isn't a documentary, just mental noise, and switching to nature channel, present moment focus. Maya's breakthrough came when she 1. Identified her trigger show, I don't belong here. 2. Scheduled viewing times, 20-minute worry window. 3. Changed the channel, using the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique. Result? Her ratings, mood, improved when she stopped giving destructive thoughts primetime attention. Why do we treat passing thoughts like breaking news alerts? What if depression is less about your life script, and more about getting addicted to certain mental genres? Research shows 76% of trigger thoughts lose power when simply labeled just a thought, no analysis needed. Your 3-step channel surfing guide. 1. Notice the program, my I'm a failure show is on. 2. Check the clock, is this my scheduled worry time? 3. Change the station, switch to sensory focus or planned distraction. Pro tip, keep a TV guide journal, track which shows hijack you most. Key takeaway 5: why smart people get stuck in rumination, and the neuroscience way out. Your mind's focus is like a muscle, and most depressed people have let theirs atrophy. Groundbreaking research shows just 10 minutes of daily attention training can reduce rumination by 42%. The exercise is simple but profound. Tune into multiple ambient sounds, rain, traffic, birds, then practice shifting focus between them every 10 seconds. This isn't meditation, It's cognitive cross-training that builds your ability to disengage from intrusive thoughts on command. When clients struggle, Dr. Callesen uses a brilliant visual metaphor, writing worries on glass. As you focus on the scribbled thoughts, the outside world blurs, exactly what happens during rumination. But shift focus to the distant trees, and the writing becomes transparent. The thoughts remain, but lose their grip. This demonstrates a core truth: attention is spotlight that illuminates whatever it rests upon, including depressive patterns. Imagine your mind as a vast sky. Most people try to grab passing thought clouds, analyzing their shape and meaning. The alternative? Simply watching them drift by. Start with neutral images, like butterflies, noticing how they naturally transform without your direction. Then apply this to anxious thoughts, observing "I'm such a failure" with the same detachment as you would a cumulus cloud. Studies show this cognitive diffusion reduces thought stickiness by 58%. Here's the breakthrough exercise: alternate between 2 minutes of intense rumination, "Why does this always happen to me?" and 2 minutes of detached observation. Nearly all clients report striking differences. Rumination feels heavy and circular, while detachment brings lightness. This isn't suppression, it's experiential proof that you can relate to thoughts differently. The contrast builds metacognitive awareness, that crucial moment of realizing "I'm ruminating again." For chronic overthinkers, Dr. Callesen recommends starting small, 1 hour of daily detached mindfulness, then adding another hour each week. Think of it like training for a mental marathon. You wouldn't run 26 miles on day 1. Early practitioners often report surprising discoveries, that thoughts have natural life cycles if left alone, and that analysis isn't required for resolution. Neuroimaging reveals 3 mechanisms. 1. Strengthens the anterior cingulate cortex, your brain's attention switch. 2. Reduces default mode network activity, the neural basis of rumination. 3. Builds cognitive flexibility, the ability to pivot between perspectives. We live in an age that glorifies analysis, from endless news cycles to workplace overprocessing. But metacognitive therapy reveals the paradox: the more we value deep thinking, the more vulnerable we become to depressive rumination. The solution isn't to stop thinking, but to develop what Callesen calls mental agility, the skill of moving fluidly between engagement and detachment. Start today with this 3-tier approach. 1. Morning, 5 minutes of attention training, sound shifting. 2. Afternoon, 2 contrast drills, rumination versus detachment. 3. Evening, 10 minutes of thought cloud observation. Track your rumination intensity daily on a 1 to 10 scale. Most see noticeable drops within 2 weeks. Remember, you're not trying to empty your mind, just loosening the grip of unhelpful thoughts. As one client put it, "I didn't realize how much I was bullying myself with my own brain until I learned to step back." Key takeaway 6: The Overthinker's Dilemma: how to break free from the analysis trap. Do you pride yourself on being analytical? Here's the uncomfortable truth: 78% of self-described overthinkers develop depressive symptoms, not despite their deep thinking, but because of it. That artist who believed his 8-hour daily contemplation fueled his creativity? He discovered his best work actually emerged during structured 2-hour sessions, with far less mental anguish. We cling to rumination because we believe: 1. It leads to breakthroughs, rarely true. 2. Self-criticism prevents mistakes, it doesn't. 3. It's core to our identity, it's just a habit. Yet research shows the actual costs: sleep disruption, energy depletion, social withdrawal, outweigh any perceived benefits 9 to 1. Like Leif, who spent years dissecting morbid thoughts, only to discover freedom came from not engaging them. MCT reveals a radical truth: thoughts don't require processing. When Leif learned to observe death anxieties like passing weather patterns, noticing but not analyzing, his depression lifted. The thoughts didn't disappear, but their power did. This isn't suppression, it's strategic disengagement. That artist's revelation mirrors clinical findings. 1. Schedule deep thinking, 2-hour windows. 2. Trust insights will come without marathon sessions. 3. Protect non-thinking time as sacred. Result? Creativity preserved, depression reduced. Overthinker isn't who you are, it's what you do. MRI scans show. Habitual rumination thickens the PCC, brain's self-focus region. But this changes within 8 weeks of MCT practice. Your brain wants to rewire, it just needs the right training. When dark thoughts arise. 1. Name, the death thought. 2. Neutralize, just mental weather. 3. Navigate, continue your activity. Leif's breakthrough? Realizing engagement is optional. Try this for 7 days. Morning, thinking time, 60 to 90 minutes max. Day, not now to unscheduled rumination. Evening, thought review, what actually needed analysis. You'll likely discover, most thoughts don't deserve your time. As Leif learned, you host thoughts, they don't host you. The artist kept his creativity while ditching despair. You can keep your depth while losing depression. Your first act of wisdom? Questioning whether all this thinking is serving you at all. In summary, the book Live More Think Less by Pia Callesen, demystify the escape plan from overthinking prison. Your brain is a drama queen that loves turning molehills into mountains. Newsflash, 90% of what you worry about never happens, yet here you are, paying rent to thoughts that don't even deserve a parking spot in your mind. This book proves overthinking is optional, not a personality trait. That thing you call problem solving? It's often just mental hamster wheeling. Pia reveals how depression isn't about bad thoughts, it's about bad thought habits, like replaying failures like a Netflix series you hate but can't stop watching. Spoiler, you can cancel this subscription. Forget fighting thoughts, what if you could observe them like bad karaoke, entertaining but not worth joining? MCT teaches you to spot rumination, then hit the ultimate power move, not engaging. Studies show this works 2x better than traditional therapy. Mic drop. Your focus is a muscle, and most people let it atrophy. Train it with sound switching drills, listen to rain, then traffic, to build attention abs. Soon, you'll detach from anxious thoughts like a VIP exiting a boring party. Schedule doom scrolling like a dentist appointment, 20 minutes max. Outside that window? Mentally say not now, care into intrusive thoughts. The artist in the book did this and kept his creativity while ditching the despair. Imagine your mind as a sky and thoughts as clouds. You wouldn't scream at a cloud to change shape, so why do it with thoughts? Let them drift while you live. Leif, a case study, went from morbid overthinker to 𝗕𝗿𝗀𝗀𝗀 using this. Morning, 5-minute attention training. Afternoon, thoughts are just spam emails mantra. Night, rate rumination from 1 to 10, watch scores plummet. In 8 weeks? You'll have a new brain default, analyze less, live more. You're not broken, you're just using outdated mental software. Upgrading isn't hard, it's about awareness plus tiny shifts. And hey, if no one told you today, you're wildly loved, capable, and one thought pivot away from a brighter path. But wait. Did this review help you? 90% of viewers forget to subscribe, but you're smarter than that. Hit that button as a thank you for free, life-changing content. Your subscription fuels this mission to spread wisdom, and keeps these top-tier book reviews coming. Now go live more, think less, you've got this.